The night sky, stars, meteorites, and even comets. And beneath it all, this cool customer, who for the best part of 20 years has absolutely loved astronomy, whether through small telescopes, giant binoculars, or more often than not, simply with the naked eye. I genuinely couldn't guess as to how many hours I've spent lying down in the middle of nowhere watching the skies. If there's a meteor shower on, sometimes it's possible to see literally dozens of shooting stars scream across the sky. Unfortunately, it's taken me all of this time to realise how brilliant bivvy bags are and how perfectly suited they are to my naked eye astronomy. Take a look at this picture from all the way back in 2012 on one of my astronomy nights. That is a jetty over a pond that I'm stood on, and I had to lie on the jetty because it was a cow field, so you couldn't trust what you might potentially be lying on out on the grass. But from that spot, I've seen hundreds of shooting stars, fantastic. But imagine how cold it would get late at night and during the winter months. And of course, now in hindsight, I am kicking myself that I didn't do something as simple as this, even if I'd have just had a cheap bivvy bag. You're looking at less than 500 grams carriage probably, and that would have at least, on its own, without anything inside it, been a waterproof and cowproof layer that I could have lay on more comfortably on the grass. This is where I really start to feel a fool though. I could have not just been taking a bivvy, but I could have, before I'd even left the house, been setting up a bivvy with a cheap lightweight sleeping bag and a simple small inflatable mat, bundling it up together in my rucksack, and then having a really simple, easy and quick to deploy bit of comfort there with me before I'd even reached my astronomy location. Look at this for a rapid deployment. 3, 2, 1, and it's done. So, as I said, even just the bivvy would be a simple waterproof barrier between you and the grass. But in this case, of course, I've put an inflatable mat in there. And although this is only a small and simple one, it's not going to give you extreme insulation from the cold ground. It's not going to make you feel like you're lying down on a cloud. But it is going to do more than nothing. And you can see it takes maybe 30 seconds in this particular case for me to inflate it by mouth. And just like that, within 1 minute of turning up at my desired location, I've not just got a waterproof mat and padded area that I can sit on or lie down on with far more comfort than not having it. I've got an entire padded waterproof cocoon that I can crawl into should I feel the chill or should there be passing showers, for example. And what's more is that all of this kit has gone into just a 26-litre rucksack and weighs less than 2 kilograms combined. So even with the rucksack, it's less than 2.5 kilograms. There are literally kids going to school and college and uni carrying bigger and heavier rucksacks every day than all of this kit that I'm taking out to see the magic of the universe at work above me. And that's just one of the reasons that I am kicking myself when I think of how much easier and more comfortable so many hours of my early astronomy life could have been. When I ran away to live on a canal boat for several years, and then did it again, one of the big reasons was my love of astronomy and being able to be moored up in these not just incredibly peaceful rural places, but really low light pollution, really dark sky areas. And I would lie out on the boat roof sometimes, and I'd even put cushions beneath me then. And it just never occurred to me to put together such a simple bit of kit as this. Even just a bivvy and a very flat, simple air mattress would have been so much better than nothing, just to keep the little bit of a chilly breeze off you. Let's get a little more adventurous, but not too adventurous. So as I've really got into bivvy camping this year, as well as my usual tent-based wild camping, I've started something that you could try and brand as stealth stargazing if you wanted to make it sound cool. But basically, it's just going to places that aren't particularly remote and finding little out of the way areas or patches of long grass that I can set up a small tarp as a ground sheet and then enjoy the nice calm evening with a hopefully clear sky above. Crucially, what makes this stealth stargazing is that attempt to be undetectable to any of the potential trouble in the area. On this particular night, not only were there people setting fires before I'd even got down there and chosen this hidden site, You can see I used the tripod as a little indicator as to where the kit is laid out on the ground, and even the tripod is becoming difficult to see from only a few dozen feet away. However, later on this very evening, I had to make a bit of a quick getaway and start shining my torch around a few hundred feet from my actual setup because a gang of, I would say, between 5 and 10 blokes, maybe in their early 20s, were out down here drinking. And even though I'm sure they were fine, and the air certainly smelled of something that wasn't normal cigarettes, is when there's that many people in a group, it only takes one idiot to cause trouble, even if the others are all absolutely fine. And I'd rather not take that risk. So I had to walk a few hundred feet away from where my stuff was, shine the torch around, and then disappear again to try and throw them off the scent, just in case they'd seen me while I was set up doing my filming. Of course, on a normal night, I wouldn't actually be doing any of this filming because using the lights to illuminate the setting for the camera absolutely destroys my night vision. And that's why you don't really see me doing videos about this stargazing stuff, because the only camera work that I'm normally doing is taking long exposure pictures so that I can actually capture the stars themselves without wrecking my eyesight for the darkness. You may be looking at this long grass setup thinking surely we've strayed into the realm of just an outright bivvy camp now, and although I have indeed spent nights out with this very simple kit and enjoyed them a surprising amount to be fair, this is still a far lighter weight selection of kit to take out, and far quicker to set up, and more importantly to pack away and escape if needs be, than a proper overnight kit. And that's because without trying to spend the night out there, just going out for a couple of hours here or there, I'm of course not taking any extra clothes or changes of socks and so on. I'm not taking things to cook, so not only am I not taking one of my various stoves, but I'm not taking the food and extra things like that, and crockery, for example. And of course, normally, as I say, I wouldn't be filming, so I wouldn't need to take any extra lighting or stuff like that. So this particular night had the perfect example of the rapid escape system with that random group of chaps who came down drinking. And as I could hear the voices getting closer and was not sure what exactly was going on, where they were going, or why, I thought, well, hang on, let's just rapidly pack up my kit because I'm doing this filming here. I couldn't be more visible in the darkness because I'm lit up with multiple light sources. And so it took me barely a moment to just chuck the bivvy and the sleeping bag in, deflate the pillow and the mattress, and off I went. I wasn't worried about stoves. I wasn't worried about any fancy, expensive extra kit for camping. I was just gone. Then, just as quickly, once I was convinced the danger had passed, my camp was restored within 2 minutes. Fantastic stuff. I love the night sky and bivvy bags. Thank you very much for watching, my friends. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I'd like to give a huge thank you to everybody who's a PayPal supporter, a channel member, Facebook subscriber, a super thanker, and so on. Just like some of my recent supporters: Bowlin01, Rob, Just One Day, me, Morbid Lydia, Lima Bean, Mr. Dave C, 1234, Art V, Snuffkin, Terence Seymour, Amber Sanford, Kevin Y, Alice A, Jackie A, Sean B, Colin S, Kaz G, Rich AH, MV, James G, Zoe F, George B, and Sharon LH. Thank you very much, everybody, for everything. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy my adventures to come. Until the next time, keep it interesting, keep it star-worthy, have a fantastic day, and of course, my friends, farewell.